What's up, guys, and welcome to part 1 of my new pen shooter game tutorial. In this tutorial, I will be covering the player movement and how to draw the player, but I won't be adding scrolling quite yet, but I think I will add that later, and I'll also add a grid, but probably not today either. So, first thing you're going to need is the pen extension. What you need to do is just click that little button in the bottom left corner, and then you're going to click on pen to add it. Oh wait, I just realized I'm in the backgrounds. Then I'm going to paint a new sprite and call it pen. And you don't need anything in the costumes. Well, actually, for now you don't need anything in the costumes. You might need something in the costumes later, but for now, I don't think we need anything. Well, actually, I'm going to use a little thing for the collision where you just set the ghost to 100, so everything drawn on the screen is still with pen, but the collision is, you can still touch something when it's ghost of 100. So I'm actually going to make a costume for the player hitbox, which is just going to be a really big circle. It's just going to be exactly 100 by 100, and if you don't know how to tell what the properties are, see right here where it says 296 by 296, just make it so that both of those numbers say 100. And whoops. Then so you just have to fiddle with it, whoops, until you get it just right. So close. Sorry. There, 100 by 100. Then I'm going to center it, and we can go back to the code. Okay. Now what we need is a when flag clicked, and this is gonna start the game. So then what we're gonna do is erase all, and then we're gonna have a new block called reset. We'll just reset and run without screen refresh. Click OK. So then we're going to reset, and in the reset we're going to need some variables to reset. So let's make a variable called player X for all sprites, player Y for all sprites, whoops, and then scroll X. Well, actually, not yet. We don't need those yet. So, and then we can do, sorry. I don't think we need, so that's gonna be just, that's all the variables we need right this second, I think. So, sorry. That's right. It's just in the reset we can say pen up. We can also say go to 0, 0, and set player X and player Y to 0. And we're also going to need player speed. Sorry. So speed. And that can be for all sprites too. So player speed to be 4. And then set a variable called player radius. I don't think I spelled it. Radius for all sprites. And set that to be 20. Player radius to 20. And we're actually going to let's actually edit this and make this called reset player, because this is just resetting here, this is just resetting this. So let's actually change this to be broadcast and wait a message called reset, because there might be things that need to delete clones or deleting lists and a bunch of other stuff. So we can say broadcast and wait reset, because there can be other sprites that can also receive that message. Then what we're gonna do is say set player radius to 20, and then we can set a new variable also called player health that we should have, and we can click OK, and then we can just set that to be a new thing also called max player health. And max player health is just going to be 100 to start. So we can set it to 100. And we're not actually going to do that in the reset player because we might have upgrades. And if we do upgrade things, we don't want to reset the max health because you could buy like an upgrade. So to make it more, so we're going to set the player health to be max player health. And we're going to set the max player health over there. And I'm just going to hide these variables because I don't really need them on my screen. And then we're going to set game over for all sprites to be 0. Next, what we can do is add a forever loop right here. And then we can say forever. We're going to erase all. And then we're going to say, well, actually, we're going to say, forever repeat until game over equals 1. Then we're going to erase all, and we're going to broadcast tick. So new message, tick. Next, what we're going to do is say, we're going to say tick. Okay, when I receive tick, so I'm just going to duplicate this and then change it to tick. Then what we're going to do is, tick is going to be like basically the whole game. So, it's going to have everything that we need when we're drawing. So let's go ahead and say, make a new block called draw background. Ground. And then just do run without screen refresh and click OK. And this is going to draw just a background of just any color you want. So I'm just going to say, and you can hide that for now until we have collisions. So I'm just going to say the background to be like this, something. And then, so pen up, set pen size to be like 1 billion, million, trillion or something. And then just say pen down and then pen up. So then it just draws a giant dot that just covers everything. And then we can also say go to 0, 0 just to make sure. And then we can say, actually, so let's add this show and set ghost to 100. Just so that we don't forget. Then what we can do is say set size to be player radius times 2. So it will be the same size as the hitbox should be. Well, the hitbox will be the size of the player based on the player radius. Anyways, and then switch costume to costume 1, and then we're gonna have another new block called player movement with an input of speed and run without screen refresh. And this is just for the player. So for that, we're just gonna say change player X by, and then we're gonna say an or, and then a minus. So just put the or in the minus, and then say key right arrow pressed minus key D pressed, and then we can put this in the other side of the minus, and then do left arrow pressed minus key A pressed, and then we can say times speed, and then we can put this in the multiplication. Then we can also change player Y by left arrow pressed minus A, and wait, actually no, up arrow or W pressed minus down arrow or S pressed times speed. Then we can say, yeah, so that's actually pretty much it for the player movement for now. Then we can also, or we could, if we wanted, well, I'll just do that later, maybe in a different video. Anyways, then what we can do is say, to actually do the player movement, drag that in, and then we can do with the input of player speed. So our player now can move, not scrolling yet, but I'll add that in probably the next video. But we see the player. So I'm gonna make a new block called render player, and this is gonna be run without screen refresh. And then what we can do in the render player is put the pen up, and then set the pen size to be player radius times 2.3, and then what we can do is set the color to be whatever we want the outline color to be. So I'm gonna do just like almost black for an outline thing, and then we're gonna go to player X and player Y, and then we're going to put the and then we're gonna say pen down, pen up. So if we click the flag now, oh, we're not rendering the player yet, so put the render player in there. Don't get it confused with reset player, it looks really similar. And now you can just move around. As you can see, I mean, it doesn't look like the best circle but that's just the way pen is on Scratch. If you want to get really good pen, you can go to turbowarp.org, and then if you go to like the settings thing, there's a setting called there's like a high quality pen that you can do there. So that also looks really really good if you use that, and then you can so I would recommend using that if you want to get really good pen. And then you can also do another one and just do player radius times 2, and maybe a little lighter. So now 2 circles. Then you can duplicate it again and do one that's just a little darker. Wait, yeah. This one I'm just gonna make a lot lighter. So then this one can be like in between. And then this one's gonna be player radius times 1.3. And there we have this body of the player. Oh, whoops. So this is like the player body. And you know what? I'm actually gonna add something to this. I'm gonna make a new variable called xv and a variable called yv, both for this ride only. And these are x velocity and y velocity. So we're gonna change this to be change xv and change yv. And in the reset player, we can set xv and yv to both be 0. So set xv and set yv. And then we are changing these, and then we can set both of them. Just duplicate this and say set and set, and then we can take these out, and then we can say set xv to xb XV times 0.9. So XV times 0.9, and then YV to YV times, YV times 0.9, and then say if, and then another if, and then you can say get a greater than, and then 0.9, and then I'm going to say absolute value of XV is greater than 0.9. Then I'm going to change the player X by the round of XV. Whoops, to do round, put that in. Then you can just duplicate this and change this to be player Y by YV, and also duplicate this and make this be YV. And then I'm just gonna clean these up, and then, whoa, okay, the speed's way too high to be changing something by that, I think, or I don't know. But anyways, the speed's way too high, so let's reset the player speed to be something more like 0.25. And that is way too slow, so let's try 1, I guess. And I think that seems like a good speed for our player to move, at least for right now. Or maybe more like 0.5 maybe. And it does feel like it has a really big amount of friction, so I'm actually going to change this to 0.8 and this to also be 0.8. So and then I can also say maybe this is 1. So now it moves, and I'm actually going to make the player radius be actually just a little bigger, so maybe 30. And see, oh, that's way too big. 23 maybe. Okay, that's a good size. And see, everything changed with it. So that's why we have the player radius variable, so you can just easily change the size of the player. And then I'm also going to add, of course, a pen up here at the bottom of that. And this video is almost over, but the last thing I'm going to show how to do is add a gun. So let's make the gun work. So I'm going to go to my backpack, and I'm going to drag in 2 blocks here. Wait, not that one. I didn't mean to drag in this giant one. We don't need that one. I meant to drag this one. And then clean up blocks, and I'm going to just delete some of the variables that it added in that we don't need. And I'm going to delete this if. Okay, so as you can see, I have 2 new blocks that they're a little too big for me to just make on the video because it would just make them really long, but I can just explain them really quick. So this one is just the same as like finding the distance to the mouse pointer, and so it's gonna find the distance to mouse by doing all of this. So distance to mouse, square root of player x minus mouse x times player x minus mouse x plus player y minus mouse y times player y minus mouse y. And then this one is just going to be a tan of player x minus scroll x minus mouse y divided by player y minus scroll y minus mouse y plus player y minus scroll y minus mouse y is greater than 0 times 180, or that is equal to 0 times 180. And these are going to find the direction of where the mouse is and how far away the mouse is from the player. And it really comes in handy. Oh, and as you can see, it added these scroll x and scroll y variables. We are not using them yet, but we probably will use them in the next video when I show how to make it scrolling, and I will probably add a grid. But anyways, this is starting to be a long video, so let's finish it up with the player weapon. So we're going to make a new block called make player weapon, run without screen refresh and click OK. And for the make player weapon, we're going to go to and actually drag that before it does the player, because the player weapon is going to be behind the player. And then what we can do is in this we're going to say pen up, and then we're going to find the distance to mouse, and then we're going to find direction of mouse, and then we're going to say go to, and then we're going to say in the go to we're going to grab a plus, and then this is going to be really big, so just try to make sure that you do all this in the right order. You're going to grab a times and put it right there. What you're going to do is first you're going to get this abs block and change it to and then sign of direction of mouse times player radius, so player radius plus distance to mouse, and then minus the absolute value of player radius minus distance to mouse. So there, and then put all of this in a divided by 2. Oops, like this. And then we can just say plus player X in there. And then for the Y, it's very similar. So you can duplicate this and whoops, didn't go there, so I'm gonna put this back in, and I'm gonna clean up these so I have some space. So where's this? Okay, and we're gonna change this to be a cosine, and then player radius plus distance mouse, abs, everything stays the same, except change this to be plus player Y, like that. And now, oh wait, I forgot we haven't drawn anything yet. That was just the go-to, so it's not done yet. What we're gonna say is point in direction, and then direction of mouse, and make sure that your rotate style is set to all around. And then what we can do is say set pen color to that same outline color that we had. So I'm gonna go duplicate that and drag it over here so that we have it, and set pen color to this, and then set pen size to be, well, I don't know, I guess I'll try like 23 for now. I don't know if that'll be a good size. And then we could say pen down and then move 11.5 steps. Well, actually maybe like 20.5 or something, and then pen up, and let's see how that looks. Okay, that looks pretty good. Maybe a little less, like 18, and then maybe set this to be more like 18 also, or 20. Yeah, I think that's good. And this still is a little much. There. So the gun looks kind of weird right now though. So we can go ahead and duplicate this and just delete one of those pen ups because we don't need both of them. And then we can, now it's doing the same thing. And we can just say, sorry. You can just set the pen size to something smaller, like 15, and set the color to be, oh wait, I can just get it from the scene, yeah. Didn't I do that before? To be like that. So now we have this, a pen circle that moves around, and yeah, I'm actually gonna change the movement speed one more time to be like, where's the movement speed? Oh yeah, player speed to be like 1.5, so it can go faster now. Oh, that's well, yeah, you know what? I'm actually we'll see the diagonal movement. As you can see, I'm pretty sure it is faster than the normal movement, and that is a bug, but I'm not going to fix it in this video, but I promise you that in the next video I will show how to fix it, and it's really easy, so that will be one of the things that I do in the next video. But for now, I'm gonna leave it after I actually just add one more thing to this, and I'm actually gonna change the background color because it looks almost the same as the player and it just makes everything look really gray. So I'm gonna change the background color, where's the background, to be like just like that, and then I'm going to just add something to this, make player weapon. I'm just gonna duplicate it like that, and then like 14, I mean like, I don't know, 9, and then I'm gonna get that color right here. Now it's like a weapon. Well, I don't know, it looks kind of weird. Maybe if I made it a little bigger, it's like that. No, maybe like 10, I guess. Yeah, it still looks really weird, so I don't know. You know what, that actually looks okay. Maybe it just won't move as many steps, I guess. Maybe 3, move 15. Okay, like, yeah, 9, 15 steps. And yeah, you can, but it can go in on itself, but I guess I can try to fix that too. But anyways, yeah, I might go fix that right now, but yeah. But you know what, it's been like that in my other games, and it's not really that bad. I mean, so yeah, I think it's okay if it just does that. I mean, it's just a tutorial, like, I'm not gonna show how to make everything perfect, so I'm pretty sure you guys figure out how to do that. So yeah, and this last one I'm just gonna change to be just full black, and then I'm just gonna say point towards mouse pointer and set pen size to like 16. Just move 0.15 steps. Well, move like 2 steps maybe, or 3. I'm just gonna set this to be 15 and move like 5 steps. Okay, so now we have this, and I'm just gonna change one more thing. I want the outline to be red, but like transparency, I mean like this to be like 50, like in my pen fighter sort of. So, well, actually I'm gonna make the brightness a little more. So, And then I'm just gonna go to this one, and I'm gonna set this to be 70. Oh, actually, I'm just gonna take that. Okay, there. So now you have your thing. The gun can go through, but I mean, it's okay. Or actually, yeah. So yeah, this is the end of part 1. We actually covered a lot, and the video is probably really long, but it works pretty good. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's still gonna be a really cool game, even though there's this bug. So yeah, that bug, yeah, just ignore it. It doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll make a video to fix it, but I don't think it really matters that much. So, especially when there's not really an easy solution. So, and except like totally remaking the drawing of the player, but I'm not gonna do that. So anyways, thanks for watching. Stay posted for the next video. So yeah, this is gonna be a really hard series, so sorry this video is kind of long and hard to make. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you can make a really cool project with this. And in the next video, I'll just be improving the scripts and adding scrolling and possibly grid, and just also yeah. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, and yeah, so bye.